What is going on, everybody? I am John, Younglink Finch. I'm doing my Super Regionals prediction video here for you guys. Just to let you know a little bit of information about it first, Super Regionals is going to be this Wednesday, so really only like a couple days away. That's November 1st, all the way through Sunday, November 5th. So we're starting some huge Smite action not too far away. It's a quarterfinal bracket for the top end teams from each region. And then losing, instead of being eliminated right away, they're sent down to the group stages, which is where the teams that went through the gauntlet, like Energy, are going to be qualifying out from as well. So we'll go ahead. I got the quarterfinal bracket right here for you, so we can go ahead and take a look at what we got here first. That first set, it's going to be Obey Alliance versus Elevate. Elevate, one of my favorite teams to watch. Jermaine and Dardez are a crazy good duo lane, but I don't predict that this set's going to go super well for them. Obey just look really, really consistent right now. Pretty prime and is looking like one of the best mid laners in the world, if not the best mid laner in the world. Emil Z's playing excellently as from the support position as well, and Zelia had no trouble meshing with the rest of this roster. So I expect Obey will do quite well here. The way that I see it, it'll probably be because these are best of fives that they're going to be doing. So it'll be a 3-1. So I think Elevate will take a game off of them, but it'll be Obey who end up winning here. So you see Obey scooping on through the semifinals, which is awesome. And again, these first four here, if you win here, you just go to Worlds. So there's going to be playing for seeding from there on out. Next set, Dignitas versus Rival. This one I actually think is going to be a lot closer than people are thinking. Dignitas, while they've looked exceptional this split, and I mean that when I say exceptional, Kiwa Fred is playing like the best jungler in the world right now. Rival shows up at LAN, dude. I don't know what it is, if it's the crowd, if it's being all 5 people in a room and they can communicate a little bit easier and they get a chance to mesh a little bit more. I don't know what it is. I probably know the least about their personal interactions out of all the casters and everyone, and I'm not saying I'm a caster myself, but I have everyone who has all the information. I probably know the least, but it just seems like they show up. And I don't want to underestimate them. They come out and they kind of just do something different. Because of the best of 5 set, though, I think that's going to favor the veterans on Dignitas a little bit more. So I'm actually going to say this one's going to go all the way. I'm going to give it 3-2, but still going to let Dignitas is going to take that one. So that means we've got the absolutely nutty semifinals of Obey and Dig. So I don't even want to think about that. Let's come on down here to E United versus Trifecta. Now, we're on the NA side of things, and a lot of people, for some reason, are counting out E United here. I've heard a lot of talk that maybe Trifecta is going to come through. Maybe some people in E United kind of have tough LAN records. And I looked over some data myself earlier, and yeah, there are some people in E United who struggled with LANs before, but this team is looking so good right now. They're looking dominant. It's been against NA so far. That's who they're playing, but they just look really, really far ahead of the meta right now. They're the ones dictating where things happen on the map, taking early objectives, kind of like old Pain de Vion or Enemy, if you think about it like that. And then their team fight just nutty as well. Excuse me, y'all. I'll learn to talk one day. And Polar Bear Mike, this dude has a freaking mind for the game. He just does. And he's hilarious, by the way, too. If you don't follow him, you should do. He's hilarious. But this one, out of just respect for E United, and I love Trifecta. Those are my favorite players, by the way, on this team. Snoopy, Aurora, Kiki. I just think that this is just not the sets. I'm sorry for y'all, but I think it's going to be rough. I'm going to give E United 3-1 over Trifecta here. And again, this means that Elevate, Rival, Trifecta, in my mind, are going to be falling down to the group stages. They're not out by any means. They're just going down to the group stage. We'll actually be able to talk about that in a minute. And then the last one, these will be games Wednesday and Thursday, by the way. The Obey, Elevate, Dignitas, Rival. Those are going to be Thursday. I believe we're actually starting with ENA on Wednesday. It'll be E United, Trifecta, Luminosity, Space Station, I believe is how it's going to go. So let's go ahead and talk about this Luminosity Space Station gaming, which I think could be the closest set of the day. No, Dignitas Rival will be the closest set. This will be the second closest one. And that's nothing to knock against Luminosity. I just think when Space Station shows up, they're flipping good, dude. But Barrett and Jeff, I mean, those two dudes, they have not missed a Worlds. Not just not missed a Worlds, but they don't even do worse than quarters. Those guys are just, or semis rather, those are just freaking nutty. They're just good. They're just good, okay? So what I'm going to say here is Luminosity wins the set, but it's stupidly close. I'm calling it 3-2. But I don't be. I would not be surprised if I'm wrong here. If this is 3-0 or 3-1, because that's how good Luminosity is, I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, no, I'm changing it. I'm going to say 3-1 Luminosity. I just have faith in them. They're good. All right, 3-1 Luminosity. Don't call me on the actual numbers here. Just who makes it through, chat. Just who makes it through. I know you're not chat. This is going on YouTube or whatever, but don't call me on stuff. That's not what this is about. All right, let's go to semis. Let's go to semis. Okay, Obey Alliance. Go to get Dignitas. Jeez Louise. Right now, Dignitas are the land dudes. They just got through winning Valencia, and they just look a little bit better than Obey. They did lose that set at the end, though. That kind of went Obey's way, but it's kind of hard to go against the momentum Dignitas have. So, oh, man. This is tough, chat. I know you're not chat, but shut up. Shut up. Let's just do it. Let's impulse it. Let's go. I think Obey is the better team. I'm going to go Obey here, but of course I'm going to make it. It's going to be absurdly close. 3-2 Obey. Emil's Uniterax here, just good, dude. That brings it down to E United versus Luminosity. As good as I think E United are, I don't think they beat Luminosity here. And I'm not even sweating over that one. I think Luminosity are the better team. I just honestly do. Luminosity are more tested. Luminosity are used to being there in this type of LAN environment. E United, you know, they've had a really strong season, really strong fall split in particular, but this is the big test for them. And I don't know if with all the lights on, can they beat Luminosity in a best of 5, where if Mask and Aquarius do their thing, I don't know who beats them. Honestly, if Mask and Aquarius look like they've looked this split consistently, I don't know who beats them, because we know we can count on Baskin, Jera, and Baskin, Barra, and Jeff. Jerakuda, Jerahinla, Jifinla. I'm sure you guys have already made a bunch of names for them, so you don't need me. Obey and Luminosity as the finals. That's nutty. Get me out. That's nutty. Oh, man. That's nutty. Shut up. Let me think for a moment. All right. I know what I want. I'm going to call this one favor of Obey. They'll take the top seed going into Worlds. That's what I think would happen. So yeah, that's how it ends up looking in the end. We can actually, I think I can pull up a standings thing and take a look at it. No, that's no easier. Let's go back to the bracket. Thought that'd be better, chat, but I failed. I was wrong. I was wrong there. Yeah, so it's going to be Obey Alliance at the end. I think they're going to come out at the top of the bracket, beating Luminosity, but I think it'll be close all the way through. I think we're going to be getting some really long sets, you guys. I think we're going to be getting some long sets, at least going close to 5, 4 at the minimum. I don't think we're going to see any 3-0s because these teams are just that close. Like the gap between Obey and Elevate, it's huge, but it's not huge where Elevate gets swept. I think that's probably the biggest gap on day one, because I don't think E9 and Trifecta are that far apart. People don't think so either. People think Trifecta might upset them, and I don't. I've got a 3-1 United. So this is how I think these things are going to look. So that does mean, though, that I think that Elevate, Rival, Trifecta, Space Station are going to drop down into the pools, into the group stage, actually is what we're calling it. So let me go ahead and get that pulled up here for you, the group stage for you. And I think we can go straight to, let me reset this one here. Reset this bracket, chat. Give me a second. All right, so yeah, I think we can just go through and just look at all the teams here. Here we go. So let's go through and just talk about who all is making it. So this group stage, it's a round robin best of 1. So that means each team plays each other only one time, and the 2 top teams are the ones that go through into Worlds. So only 2 of these teams are going to be going through. That means we can't have Space Station and Rival and Trifecta and Energy. We can't have them all. We just can't, which is crazy. But we'll go on through. There's a lot of these games. There's going to be 15 games. They're going to be slugging it out Friday and Saturday. Ugh. Slugging it out. So let's go through and just go through these games, see how they go. Noble Rival, y'all saw already, but I predict Rival's going to take this one. No big surprise there. Space Station versus Energy. That's an exciting matchup. These are not in any particular order, by the way. I'm not saying these are the orders they're going to be broadcast in. I would have no way of knowing that. Obviously, I'm sure they don't even know that because they don't know which teams are going to make it out of the quarterfinals. So this is my guess, but this is what they're looking like. Space Station versus Energy. What a nutty game. I got to give that one to Energy, though. I think Energy's going to make it out, y'all. I really do. Trifecta versus Elevate. These are two weird teams that like to do weird stuff, and they like to fight. Like Aurora and Snoopy like to fight, you dude. Man, so did Jermaine and Dardes. And then No Numbers versus Kiki. I think No Numbers wins that lane. I honestly do. I'm gonna give this one surprisingly to Elevate. I'm gonna give this one to Elevate, and I love Trifecta. I can't believe I'm underestimating Aurora at LAN. I'm gonna pay for this. There's just too many good teams. Energy versus Trifecta. Oh my god, you're gonna make me vote against Trifecta twice in a row. I think Energy like sweeps, dude. I think they're hot. In fact, if Energy lose this game, then I don't want to be the other 4 teams. There's no way at worst they're gonna go 4-1. Elevate versus Noble. I think Noble's gonna get swept. Elevate can take the victory here. Rival versus Space Station. Another good game. This really depends on how day 1 goes. If Rival does show up day 1 like I think they will, then I think they're going to beat Space Station here. But if they're not, they're looking shaky, Space Station's going to clean house. Elevate versus Energy. Sorry, Elevate. Sorry, Elevate. You're just in the wrong space at the wrong time. Trifecta versus Rival. This weekend's crazy, dude. This weekend is crazy. All right, Trifecta versus Rival. Again, this is kind of going to depend on the momentum coming in here, because what's going to happen here, let me back out for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, I'm not saying this game in particular, but there's only going to be 8 games on, only 8 games. The Fridays have 8 games, Saturdays have 7 games. So, that means, like, this 8th game slot is going to be a slug out between some teams that are probably tired of sitting around all day and watching games and waiting on a chance to play and played a bunch of games already. So that kind of game, I think, favors Trifecta. I'm not saying they're definitely going to be in this slot, but if it's like that, then I'm definitely giving it a Trifecta. And I think they kind of got the edge anyway. And then we'll pretend we're moving on to the next day. Noble versus Space Station. Sorry, Noble. I think y'all are going to be giving out points. I really do. Sorry. Y'all are great. Please don't hate me, Wally. Space Station Trifecta. Space Station versus Trifecta. It's exciting. What is this? Zapman Jigs up against Snoopy Aurora, right? That's what this duo lane is. When Space Station are on point, I don't think that they lose to anyone that's not LG or EU when they're on point. And I gotta think they're going to be coming in on point. Rival versus Elevate. Sorry, Elevate. They're giving this one to Rival. That should be closer than I gave it thought just now. No need to talk about this one. Ooh, we're getting there, y'all. Elevate versus Space Station. Space Station, I think, takes this one. I have no idea who's got the most points right now. I think I've given Energy a win in all their games. So probably them. I think Trifecta beats Noble, yes. Energy versus Rival. This is going to be a really good set. They can't tie. Energy, I think, takes it. Let me see. Can I see my standings down here? Wow, so that means I'm predicting a tiebreaker between Rival and Space Station, which is pretty close to how I really feel. So I think Energy didn't make it through pretty cleanly. At worst, 4-1. And who was it I said they could possibly tie it with? Space Station. So that means that it'll probably be a tiebreaker match between Rival Space Station that I'm thinking, if not between Energy Space Station. In which case it would just be a tiebreaker for seeding if they were tied for first and second. It would just be for seeding. And that's how it'll work. It'll be for seeding between them. So, like, in this case, Energy would be going in as 5th seed and Rival is 6th. And there'd be no NA representative. But again, I got Rival and Space Station tied in my mind. I think it could easily be Space Station going to Worlds in place of Rival. I really do. So that's how my bracket's looking out. For Super Regionals, I've got, let's just go back over it one more time. I've got Obey going through some really tough matches, though, clinching it out over Luminosity at the end. So Obey going to be first seed with Luminosity going second into Worlds. And then I believe all the semifinalists qualify straight through. So Dig and E United will be going in 3rd and 4th. I'm not sure if they do a 3rd place match or not. I don't know about that. But that's what I'd be predicting would be between Dig and E United. And then in pools, or group stages as they're calling it, I predict it'll be Energy and then a tiebreaker between Rival Space Station, which I think Space Station probably take. Oh, unless they have a head-to-head. That might be why Rival's up ahead Space Station. Did I give them a head-to-head already? Well, obviously. They obviously had one, chat. But let's see. How did I put it going? Wow, I said Rival would beat Space Station. So then, yeah, Rival would take it then because they have the head-to-head. So it'd be Energy and Rival. Energy and Rival, chat. Well, there you go. Those are my predictions. I hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed, hanging around with me while I tried to make it through the labyrinth that is this incredibly competitive weekend. So just make sure you tune in Wednesday. It starts at 11 a.m. on Wednesday with that very first set, which I believe is going to be the E United and Trifecta set, I believe. Don't quote me on that, though, chat. But it'll be NA for sure. It'll be NA Wednesday, 11 a.m. all the way through Sunday. Make sure you check it out.